Very good point.
They said that it was very disappointing.
That's actually kind of amusing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Boomer.
Okay, buddy, you take it easy.
Boomer Sasson here is an Imus Morning program. 32 after the hour. This is the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. Sponsored by buyandhold.com. What other choice do you have? You buy them and hold them, maybe. Buy them and hold them. Young Lance Whitaker and Rock Newman. First of all, good morning, Mr. Newman.
Good morning. And tell Boomer while he's still on the phone, ask Paul Horning put a little bet down on tonight's game for me.
Well, no, we don't want to go there. But
Rock, come on.
what happened Saturday night when your guy just nearly got... I watched the fight, by the way. I had to go to a wedding, but I taped it. I got home and watched it, and what a disappointment.
Well, let me tell you, Imus.
You were robbed, right?
Let me tell you. No, we wasn't robbed.
No.
But our plan is working beautifully. He wanted to go in there and to show people, people are scared of Rock Newman fighters.
Right.
And so before the fight, we said, look, we gotta fake him out. And so he went out there and he came out, and this guy got the decision, and now people think that he can't fight,
right.
and we got him just where we want him, because now he's going to head and become the heavyweight champion of the world, because they'll fight him thinking he can't fight, and our plan is working beautifully, Imus.
You know, what are you, drunk? Jesus. You have lost your mind.
Now, let me tell you, the big-time McCline, he kind of didn't go along with the program so much. He was hitting hard. I wanted to get called on Bo Deedle. But our plan is working beautifully now.
Where's Goofy?
Right here, baby.
Goofy, I told you, don't go in there and embarrass us. It's a good thing you're not here in the studio, because I would whip your ass this morning. I'm so upset with you.
Yeah, I know you are, man. You kick my ass, man.
What the hell happened?
Just, it's gotta, I'm goofy, but I ain't no bitch. I'll be back. But, I gotta just get back in the gym and work harder, train harder, and just get my weight back up, because it's the lightest I've ever been in my fights.
You gotta hit harder.
Yeah, I felt pretty weak. There's no.
That guy was hitting you hard, wasn't he?
Yeah, we all hit hard, but I just had.
No, he hit harder than you, Goofy. What are you talking about? I'm not Goofy. You're Goofy. I saw the fight. The guy beat the hell out of you.
Yeah, just.
Wobbling leg there in the 10th round, 11th round, or
whatever.
But
he came back, though. Did you see him come back? Did you see him show that heart and come back like a champion that he's going to be, because we got him faked out like we want him now?
Jesus, God Almighty, you have completely lost your mind. Jesus,
posing.
It's Rock Newman. Jesus.
When they raise his hand and they say, and the new heavyweight champion of the world, you can say, goddamn, Rock, they put together another plan, and it started here on the Imus in the Morning Showgram. They faked everybody out, including Imus.
Let me explain something to you. If Goofy is ever declared the heavyweight champion, and I mean of all of the belts, not
the real deal,
not some jive belt, not some IBF Home Depot Dairy Queen heavyweight champion, I will go down on you in Times Square.
What about me? You go down on me too?
I was on Goofy.
You go down on me too?
The other morning, we don't want that anymore.
All right, guys, thanks.
Dog go down on me, then Imus.
Rock Newman and Goofy here on the Imus of the Morning program. It's 25 till the hour.
Oh, my God.
Man, we got him where we wanted. What are you nuts?
Wake up, kid. It's half past. You ain't nothing really changing but the dates. You a grand slammer, but you know Babe Ruth. You gotta learn how to relate. I be swinging from the pearly gate. I got all the answers, and lo and behold, you got the right key, baby, but the wrong key. Ho, yo.
Imus in the morning.
We have no stores, we have no inventory, we have no warehouses, but we do $9 billion in gross merchandise sales.
eBay runs on WebSphere software from IBM.
I'm Jeff Jordan, I manage eBay.com.
With over 1 million new auctions a day, eBay can't drop the ball.
We have a community of over 36 million buyers and sellers who trade on our site every day, and they count on us to provide a great service to enable them to run their businesses and pursue their passions. We're looking for a company we can build a partnership with to help us go from our $9 billion of sales to $30 billion of sales by the year 2005.
eBay relies on IBM WebSphere software.
WebSphere can enable us to build our site quicker and more efficiently and enhance the uptime and scalability of our platform. The most important thing that our systems can do is have incredibly high levels of reliability.
Team with the business people who get technology.
A major technology decision, I think you have to consider IBM.
Some people sleep during their commute. Others read. But I work.
That's gum. G-U-M.
Sounds like a gun. That's pretty amusing.
Something ugly is going to happen.
Guy being disappointed that Me and Larry King outlived George Harrison.
Yes, it is.
That's amusing. Now, that's funny. Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, what did Will Rogers say? Longevity has ruined as many men as it's made.
Yeah.
If you had checked out at a certain point, well, I think you're still in ascension. You know, you're doing fine. But there's a lot of people that should have died. Like Graham Parsons died just at the right time. Hank Williams.
I've now got myself in a situation with this ranch where I have to go out there. I certainly have to go out all summer with these knotheads, and I can't breathe.
What do you mean, the height,
Yeah.
the
So
location?
it's 3 months of, I mean, it's difficult to complain when you got kids with cancer, but so now I'm in extensive physical training,
So you just ride the horse with an oxygen tank. That's
trying to get
Wheel you
myself
around in an iron lung around the place.
trying to get in better shape. But the kids with cancer have no sympathy if I'm bitching about not being able to
course
breathe.
not.
And you were there, you saw them.
Sure.
They actually make
Please.
fun of me.
Shut
Well,
up.
I thought you were in some serious precarious health there in the dining room when Deidre and I were having our argument about Mother Teresa, and you were laughing so hard that I thought you were, and weren't you having trouble breathing there? You can't laugh. You got to be careful about that.
That was one of the funniest moments that I've ever witnessed. Deidre, of course.
Well, having the little kids around was nice too.
Deidre. And the kids were witness to this as well. Kinky's outburst
let's
over
not
Mother Teresa.
Let's
and
not
it
get
was-
into this.
And Kinky described Mother Teresa in terms that she couldn't repeat
Yeah.
off the air.
You're right. You couldn't and wouldn't.
Not only on the air, off the air.
But Deirdre proved that she's a good sport. She
Oh,
took
she-
it well.
Yes, she did.
took it
She is
very
a good
well.
sport.
She kind of was taken aback, I think.
No, it's hard to take her back on anything.
But she seemed mildly amused by it at the end.
She laughs today about it.
Yeah.
Well, she gets
Well, it was
hysterical.
inappropriate. I mean,
What you said?
Yeah.
Yes. It was awful.
Yes. Kind of inappropriate.
Quarter to the hour here on the Imus
Oh, well.
program. We're going to get Sid in. And I actually like Sid.
I think
Sid's growing on me.
I think Sid is really
he's
coming to his
enthusiastic,
own.
He
He's
really
got that energy.
I discovered Sid, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, did I, Bernie?
Well, he's been lurking about before he
Sitting
came
in
to
the
the
waiting
Imus,
room
but
for
you
3 years.
propelled him, no
I'll
doubt.
tell you who discovered Mad Dog was Bernard.
In the bathhouse.
And you sort of did too, right,
You heard him squeal
I
and
heard
bent
after
over.
Bernard told me.
Lou? Yeah, Bernard
On
discovered
weekends.
Mad Dog just many years ago. And sort of Francesa. Bernard brought them both to my attention, and Sid was brought to my attention by who? You or Chernoff?
By the management here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you discovered me about 12 years ago. Personally, you discovered me.
Hey, how many people in this room have ever been in Kandahar? Please raise your hand. Okay, just checking.
You look like you just crawled out of the prison over there.
Don't let her memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I got, take care of me. Imus in the morning.
Seems Christmas has come a bit early for General Electric.
I'm Lori McNichol for the New York Lottery fan Highway Patrol. Hey, you never know.
8 minutes till the hour here in the Imus Morning program. Sid Rosenberg is here. And
Let's tell that story.
Sid was trashing Boomer Esiason.
Let's not tell that story.
Well, it's just funny how, 1 week when the Raiders beat the Giants last week, the Raiders were the team to beat. They were going to go all the way. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
You got to get off. You're too close to the microphone.
I moved away for you.
Well,
I'm not even touching anymore with my lips. I don't even spit on the mic anymore.
Well, you were excited and some spittle came out of
Yeah,
your
I
mouth.
get very excited.
Yeah.
But you're right. The Raiders, last week, they were the team to beat. Now they had a tough loss to the Cardinals at home yesterday, so they are no longer. Now it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're the team of the week. They're the flavor of the week.
What does your wife do for a living?
She's an attorney. I'm in. Yeah.
You must keep her busy.
Is she with? Does she represent you whenever?
No. She does not represent me. No.
Is she a corporate attorney?
Oh, she just started. She works for an insurance company. She's in the legal department. She'd like to do some litigation, but she's waiting for somebody to come around and kind of give her the big break.
Right.
Yeah. So if you could help her at all, if you could do something to help her out, get her a job in one of the bigger firms, it would be nice.
What part of the Philippines is she from?
That's funny. That happens to be true. But no, she's from Charlotte. All right.
In the Philippines?
No, Charlotte, North Carolina.
No, she's not.
Well, she lived in Charlotte for about 15 years. She was born in New York.
Right, sure.
But she's an attorney, yeah. Jets lost yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Disappointing loss for the Jets. They got off to such a great start. They were up 13-0 early, and they blew the game to the Patriots. They lost it, and now the Jets are only a half a game up on New England. The worst news for the Jets is the Miami Dolphins won yesterday, so the Dolphins have a full game lead now on the Jets inside the AFC East. Giants didn't play yesterday, man. They're off. They'll play Dallas on Sunday.
Who now?
The Giants.
Yeah, they could lose that game.
They could lose that game. Dallas beat your Washington Redskins yesterday.
They could easily lose that game.
And your Pittsburgh Steelers. You've been saying all year you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I remember it well, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. See, the thing about Imus is when he latches onto a team, Kinky, he is all about that team. He is loyal as the day is long.
Come hell or high water.
That's right. He's been a Steeler fan since 1974. Has not given up on that ball club.
I've been a Steeler fan since 4:30 yesterday afternoon.
That's close to 1974. So the Steelers get the victory tonight. By the way, big game, Monday Night Football. The Jacksonville Jaguars going nowhere, taking on the Green Bay Packers, who right now are in second place inside the NFC Central because the Bears won again yesterday, and they're also 9-2, just like the 49ers.
Is that given a choice of reading to Wyatt or watching the game, what should I do? Well, we know what I should do, but, I mean, is a game even worth having on?
Let's put it this way, man. Given me the choice of reading to Wyatt or watch the game, I'd read to Wyatt.
Imus, I'd like to say hello to Mimi Bemelmans, who is her husband.
I would too. Mimi, baby!
Wrote
Shout out
the
to
Madeline
Mimi.
series. You know the Madeline, you know the storybooks for kids?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
Madeline.
Of course, we all know it.
Ludwig Bemelman. And anyway, she's a friend of mine, and Mimi is a big Imus fan, too. She's listening. And now, could Wyatt know about Madeline, or do you think that would turn him into a homosexual or something?
No, not at all. I mean,
boy,
He's 4 years old.
Well, you read a story about little girls. I'm sure boys read that. Yeah.
he loves Eloise.
Yeah.
He loves Eloise.
Well, then he would like the Madeline.
He'd like Madeline.
He has dolls he plays with. He has dolls. He has little.
Now,
female
let me
dolls?
ask you a question. What if the child rejects horseback riding and cowboy stuff? Let's say when he's 4 and a half,
Very
and he
good
wants
question.
to wear little tutus and he wants to dance and do things like ballet. And
That's
stuff.
what he wants to do. That's
What do you
fine,
do? You'd encourage that to be fine with you?
Whatever he wants to do.
You say that now,
come on.
but when,
No,
when he's 18 and walking
Good
across
Lord.
West 21st Street with pantyhose and high heels, then what are you going to say,
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
I mean, I
don't mean nothing. Don't get his money out. How much?
I think they're greatly influenced by their environment. So I think he's. Well, I mean, he'll be fine.
He is a very, very bright, nice kid.
Yeah, he's a nice kid.
Yeah,
Very bright.
In fact, he was one of the most pleasant people at the ranch that I met, actually.
Yeah.
Why?
Raiders. Why'd they lose?
Well, I'll tell you what happened, man. They were, the Cardinals scored a touchdown with about a minute and a half left to take the lead, I should say. Then the Raiders went on this great drive. Jerry Rice catches a touchdown with less than 10 seconds left to tie it. You're under the impression the game's in Oakland. Now the Raiders are definitely going to win this one. But David Dunn fumbled a punt in overtime, and that led to a relatively short and very easy field goal for the Cardinals. So the Raiders came all the way back to tie it late just to have the Cardinals kick a field goal in overtime because of a Raider fumble.
That's not good.
No, wasn't good at all.
No.
And the Raiders lost the game. So I want to say hello to Mimi Bemelman before because
What's coming up with you and Jody today? Not anybody around the
big
country
show
can
today.
hear.
Big show today, man. We've got Kerry Collins coming on, the quarterback of the New York Football Giants,
Whoopee.
and we've got thank you.
I kind of like Jody.
What?
I sort of decided I like Jody.
You didn't like him that much a couple of months ago.
I don't know. Well, you know why? Because he's
growing on you now. You like him now.
He and Eddie stand outside there and they smoke.
Oh, well, there's
Yeah.
And then when I walk out, why, I get a lung full of smoke.
Right. You don't like when people smoke by buildings.
By the door.
Right, by doors.
Don't
of
smoke
buildings.
by the door.
Right. I don't know where they could smoke in the middle of the street. Where could they smoke then? Like at the end of the block, you mean, just not by the door.
Sure. Move away from the entrance.
Like at airports, they got these things now. You ever see these things? They're like
Of
little
course.
enclosed rooms of people just sitting there and smoke all day.
They ought to do
There's
that.
nothing more disgusting than that. Is that the most disgusting thing you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Like a 2-foot booth of people smoking up?
How many people in this room have ever been to the White House?
I've been
You
there.
done?
I have.
You have?
Everybody. Ain't no thing.
Have you spent the night there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have. Whose administration was
That was
that?
the first
So
lady.
am I.
was.
Pardon me?
Yeah, whose administration did you?
The Clinton administration.
Oh, you did.
No, sure.
George
The only way a
Washington.
drug addict like him could
Did you
get it.
get the?
George Washington's administration for I, man.
Is the Lincoln bedroom the big deal?
Kidding me?
Or-
That's Betsy Ross for some
Make it
piece of ass.
No, the Lincoln bedroom.
or does it-
Betsy, you're doing it all
There's a
wrong.
lot of nice places.
The Lincoln bedroom. Shut up, you guys. The Lincoln bedroom is not the place to stay. if you don't get to stay up in the family quarters in one of those bedrooms, that's what you really want.
Yeah.
So you're a loser.
You don't want to be relegated
No,
to the
Lincoln
Lincoln
bedroom. You wouldn't want that.
Loser.
Right.
Okay, so I want to be up with the family quarters.
Of course.
If you're not up there, then there's no point in staying there.
Might as well be on the way across the street in the park.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to sleep in Bagel, sleep in Lafayette Park.
Would be more appropriate.
By the way.
Nothing personal.
Hey, used to be Kinky Friedman, doesn't he? Who's this under all this newspaper?
I like you here.
Be my friend.
September 11th. Suddenly the world around us is a different, more confusing place. We feel apprehensive about people we don't know, don't understand.
Square Garden now through December 27th. For tickets, call the Ticketmaster Christmas hotline at 212-307-1000 or visit radiocity.com. Radio City Entertainment proudly thanks its sponsors, American Express, British Airways, Diet Coke, Panasonic, and Toys R Us.
Houston left wing. Houston turns and shoots. It's good. Allen Houston with another jumper.
Short left baseline. Back it up for Carter. Rises, fades, and rips. Allen Houston. Back out Sprewell. Sprewell for three. Bang! Latrell Sprewell from downtown.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you by The Wiz. Get it right at The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment. By the new Mohegan Sun. There's nothing.
It's so fundamentally insecure and annoying that it's frightening. So, I mean, if oftentimes when Miller says something, it is amusing, and even if it's usually more wry and clever than it is, laugh out loud funny, then as Bernard just said, either chuckle or just move on. It doesn't. I mean, let the line.
Next subject. Just
lay there or lie
Sure.
there. What would be? Lay or lie.
Let it lie there.
Let it lie there.
I think you're right about the result, but I think the intent is different. I think he actually believes he's helping.
He's not helping him.
Yeah.
I don't think
He's killing him.
he's killing him because what he adds is never as clever as what Miller said.
No.
Whether it's funny or not, it's always lame, and it's never funny because Michaels is not smart. And he's not clever, and he's not amusing. He's a jerk. I mean, he's a hideous human being. Awful human being. God.
Got that, Warner?
I just wrote it down.
All right. Get on board here.
So, Brett Favre with no interceptions, again making him, that's why he's one of the echelon top passers in the league. Difference him and the other guys.
Larry King had, by the way, Sting on last night.
For what?
Well, who knows? But, I mean, he was just slobbering over, about like he slobbers over me, by the way.
Oh, I love every breath you take. That's a great record.
But he was slobbering over Sting, and it was just repulsive. I got to have a talk with Larry.
When are the police getting back together, Sting?
I heard you can have a boner for 8 hours. Is that true?
No, he doesn't know anything about...
Love the new CD.
I guarantee you, Larry doesn't know anything about the police. Nothing. I guarantee you.
No. Except for that arrest back in Florida 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Passing bad checks.
But the group, the police, he has nothing about that. So.
That was long ago and far away.
But I mean, it's just the Sting. It's just, is there any more repulsive artist on the planet than Sting? I
He
mean,
makes some good records.
When?
Recently, he's made some very good records.
He has?
Oh, yeah. Very good. Very.
Okay, well, he's all right then. I guess it's just, I'm
He
sorry.
doesn't wear a cowboy hat.
I'm not into... Shut up, you bald-headed jerk. I'm not into Sting, so, but...
He just topped your line.
I mean, oh, man.
Kansas City, you got a question for the Stinger.
I mean, it was just uncomfortable to watch. No, they're great. No other way to put it. They're great Sting. Well...
That's Larry's M.O. He French kisses everybody's butt. With rock.
And Sting is, I would compare Sting to Jewel.
Not quite. One of rock's luminaries, Sting.
There's no lightweight in the music industry. Come on.
Well, all right.
We're out of time.
Sorry, when I took up all your time.
That's all right. My time is up. I thank you for yours.
So annoyed with
For
Larry.
Al Michaels, this is Warner Wolf.
So annoyed with Larry over this whole
Sting issue?
Yeah, well, it was just, you couldn't watch it. I mean, you got to... I don't know. Got to figure out some way that I don't have to go on there. I mean, I like him, but I can't go on.
But enough.
Enough. I just can't
Enough. You going on again?
go on. No, I'm not going on again.
Oh, I thought you were coming up again.
Oh, no, God,
geez,
no.
You were just on.
It's been
I know
2 weeks. What do you mean?
I know. I got to
right.
figure out
You
some
ever
way
falling
to
out?
I just got to figure out some way. Well, I put him out this last time for a couple of months.
The I-Man in the power rotation. Larry King.
I told him, I gave him every excuse rather than just simply doing what I normally do and saying, die, and I don't want to go on. Well, because I sort of like the guy. I do like him. I don't sort of like him. I like him.
I know you do.
And people make fun of him, and that's fine. I like him. I don't hang out with him. I wouldn't. I'm not going to go to the Palm or wherever they go. But I like the guy, so he's.
You like the way his nose feels.
Well, whatever. Just like yours does.
And it tickles.
Yeah, I don't notice any difference.
I'm not quite as well hung in that area as Mr. King.
But
Good one, Al.
I told him. I said
Cha-cha.
I won't go in any media building in Midtown Manhattan. That's what I told him. So I won't come over to CNN headquarters.
Why not?
Well, because I was just coming up with lame excuses. That's when the anthrax showed up at NBC. So that was just the excuse I gave you.
Right.
So I said, okay, we'll come to your apartment. I said, no, we don't want any camera crews in there.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it from the ranch. I mean, there was no way to get out of it.
Because they just kept after.
They cornered you. They were willing to do whatever I wanted to do.
They stalked you.
I said, he said, well, we're going to have 3 guests. I said, I'm either on for the full hour or I don't go on. They said, oh, okay, fine. I mean, there's no way to get out of it.
We'll get rid of Bush and Cheney. They're out.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 hours.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Now wait a minute. Imus in the morning.
All right, let me talk to you about buy and hold. How do you invest in today's uncertain stock market? Well, you do it at buy and hold. The online broker for long-term investors, you can get peace of mind while investing in your future. Buy stocks, quality companies, invest in them on a regular basis, and hold on to them for the long time. Hundreds of thousands of buy and holders have already discovered with Jonathan Alder, he's not interesting, he's not funny, he's a boring little schmuck. If we have Americans fighting for the Taliban in Afghanistan, what in the hell do you suppose we have here on our soil waiting to go into action against us? That's from Steve Waterman, and he's from Maine. Jonathan Alter is an irrelevant journalist. Why does the I-Man keep his career alive? Alter said that the American Taliban may be the first test for the military tribunal system. Wrong, dog breath.
Yep.
The system doesn't apply to U.S. citizens.
We'd have to strip him of his citizenship first.
No Imus today? F MSNBC. We're not on MSNBC today?
Correct.
Okay. MSNBC can kiss my ass. That's a little harsh.
Wow.
Heard or seen the video of John Walker? If he's an American, I'm a bald eagle. His accent's the same as any rag-headed, fuzzy-faced, Koran-spouting, lane-changing, fare-gouging, sheep-boffing Manhattan taxi driver. MSNBC cannot be more disappointing. When we need Imus the most, they give us Jarrett and Jansen. They claim they get better ratings, but my only position about all of this is that they in fact might, but it's of the degenerates who watch these cable television news shows, which is not between you and me, a desirable audience. They're all 55 plus. They don't buy anything.
No.
And it was the reason I'm still in business and doing okay is because we have a great audience, a great radio audience, and a great television audience. And when I say great, I mean the audience for the Imus Morning program and all across the country skews higher in terms of income, in education, and income and education, and something else.
Drugs.
And drugs. So, and the people in Washington D.C., for example, we don't have any significant ratings on the radio there, but we have a significant audience of influential people who listen to the program for whatever reason. So it's a huge mistake that MSNBC makes, but it doesn't make any difference to us, other than we just try to do. And I like the people there. I like Bob Wright and those people, so I don't have any big problem with them. But it's a huge mistake they make because you know, if you just want to be conservative, there's 10 million people who listen to the radio across the country. If you assign a minimum amount of people to the 100 radio stations we're on, and they're all morning shows, by the way. It's not like, you know, anybody can get a radio program and be on in the middle of the day or in the afternoon or the evening. Anybody can. Anybody. Laura Ingraham can. Anybody can. So, but to get a morning show on any radio station in America is extremely difficult because that's, I mean, Stern, as popular as he is, has about half as many morning shows as we do because it doesn't, it's not to diminish him at all. I'm not. I'm just saying it's very difficult to clear the time on a local radio station. And we've cleared about 100 of them. So at a minimum, it's around 10 million people. At a maximum on MSNBC, it may be 500,000 people. So it's not significant. It doesn't mean anything. But it is poor planning on the part of Eric Sorensen, who's a nice enough guy. He's a news director, but he's just an incompetent moron. And he thinks he has all the answers, kind of a smart ass. And then this fat moose who's a producer over there, Tom Borman, is just a butt-kissing company brown-noser who's incompetent. And just...
That's a little strong.
No, it's not strong. He's cowardly and won't stand up to... I'd go so far to say he's gutless. He is gutless. It's a little harsh, but I can't think of another word now. He's cowardly. That's just what he is. So,
well, that would be gutless.
He's afraid of losing his job, and lucky he has it in the first place. He's incompetent. So that's what we're doing. Then you're stuck with people like Chris Jansen and Greg Jarrett, who are laughably inept. Have you ever heard these people interview anybody? It's disgraceful. And it's fundamentally what Charles and I say all of the time. The bastards don't have any interest in what's going on in the world. It's a job to them. They don't care about it. I mean, Charles and I would do this for nothing. I did do it for nothing for a while. I mean, you know, you just... So we're interested in what's going on, and we know what's going on. And when I don't know what's going on, I find out from... I am willing to say I don't know, and I'm also willing to ask somebody to explain something to me. They're unwilling to do that because they're so insecure and caught up in their own image and all of that. That's, you know... And we have and continue to have offers from other... But there's this mindset about television that is so important. It's not. It's shocking how disappointed people are who come to appear in the program when they find out, for example, that we've been preempted on MSNBC because they are willing to simply blow off the radio. And to blow off 10 million people, I mean, you can't even make it up. It's so stupid.
It's inexplicable.
It's beyond stupid.
You have this magnified, elevated, grandiose view of what...
You're talking about
what the camera means.
I mean, you're talking about 500,000 people, maybe.
So, I don't know.
It's 12 minutes after the hour here in the Imus in the morning program. Keith Miller's in Tel Aviv, and we just talked to Netanyahu a little while ago. What's going on there this morning, Keith?
Well, a lot of chaos over on the West Bank, Gaza Strip.
Osama is in hiding, running cave to cave.
And where we want him is on Broadway.
Scary is Osama, scary is Osama, scary is Osama. Let me say it once again.
Osama on Broadway.
Bloody jihad is the war I love. Bloody jihad is the war I love.
Ben Brantley of the New York Times says Osama on Broadway is the most powerful Broadway experience since The Muslim Man.
The hills are alive with the sound of...
Clive Barnes of the New York Post says, I laughed, I cried, I took cover under my seat. It's even better than Afghani Get Your Gun.
Tora Bora Bora, Tora Bora Bye, Tora Bora Bora, that's an Al-Qaeda lullaby.
It's the toe-tappingest, sing-songiest, heartwarmingest show you'll ever be forced at gunpoint to see.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a black burnous.
Imus on Broadway presents a Hugh Jemson production with music and lyrics by Delbert McClinton, book by Charles McCord, choreographed by Larry Kenny, and directed by Lou Rufino, starring Bernard McGurk as Mullah Muhammad Omar.
Fish gotta swim, B-52's gotta fly. There's virgins waiting for me the day that I die. Can't help loving that Koran of mine.
Sid Rosenberg as Osama bin Laden.
Whatever Mullah wants, Mullah gets.
And 20-minute Broadway veteran Rob Bartlett as Afghanistan. Osama on Broadway.
Who can take a woman, wrap her in a veil, abduct a bunch of infidels and throw them all in jail? The Taliban, oh, the Taliban can.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know. Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Imus in the morning.
When you receive...
Ron, he sits around all morning while you interview all these pundits all morning. Warner does, and he doesn't get on.
Right.
Then he gets in there. He has 2 minutes to go at 10 to 9.
Right.
And Sid sticks his fat
Here,
head
here
in.
comes stupid Ed.
Right.
And
And
then
he
here
wants to
comes
take the time away from Warner. And
here comes the pushy Jew.
Exactly, and Warner took exception to it.
And Warner got upset. And then Sid should have been more of a man about it, don't you think?
No, I think I agree with Warner. I think Sid should stay the hell out when
I do
Warner's
too.
in there.
Oh, you do?
That's my opinion. Yeah.
See, I disagree with that, Bernie. It doesn't. When I'm in here, it doesn't matter to me who comes in.
Maybe not to you.
That's you.
But I could be doing sports. Kinky Friedman could come walking in and
here's
talking about something else. What's the big? That's
And
great.
here's something else where it would have been a good segment because it would have been amusing. Sid raking me over the coals, calling me an old fool, and suggesting how out of it I was.
Right, which you are, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
White Yokum on your iPod.
And B.B. King, I would point out.
B.B. King.
To compare Sting to Jewel, which by the way, is an accurate comparison.
No,
They
it's
both
not.
are of
That's
equal
ridiculous.
stature in terms of their contribution to
Something
the...
like that.
They've
You are
contributed very
clueless.
little.
Sting is one of the all-time greats.
Sting
I
is a
don't get it.
loser. Every breath I take, and then stop there.
No. You don't know.
That's
You're
the
ignorant.
police.
You're
Every
ignorant.
breath I
You don't
take.
know.
That's
Stop
not even
there.
Sting.
You
That's
don't
the
know.
police.
Well, here's the point. Sting and the rest of them all stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes,
who've gone
that's
before
exactly what they
and
do.
if you can't recognize that,
What are
then
they
it's
supposed to
just
do?
If you don't understand
What are they
that,
supposed
well,
to do?
oh, my God.
What, are you going to erase what happened before? What are you
no,
gonna
we're
do?
not.
Who cares about before
No, but
anyway?
don't ignore it. We're
Why
not going to
ignore it?
We're not. Don't.
It's over, though. It's history. It's
Don't
past history.
suggest. Suggest that it didn't have anything to do with anything. Sting is at best a lightweight.
Who has more hits in their career, Sting or Buddy Holly? Who has more hits in their career, Sting or Buddy Holly? Last I checked, Buddy hasn't come out with a song lately.
Who made a bigger contribution to rock and roll, Sting or Buddy Holly?
Sting.
Buddy Holly.
Oh, my
one of the
God.
founding fathers of rock and roll. You
Absolute. What
bald-headed
song would
dude.
be a Sting?
Imus in the morning.
We all know the weather in this.
McNichol for the New York Lottery fan. Highway Patrol. Hey, you never know.
7 minutes till the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. Big 20% off sales. The Auto Body Express. They open in about 7 minutes. Check the Auto Body Express website at autobodyexpress.com. 20% off everything, plus a free bag of Imus Brothers coffee or an Imus Brothers coffee mug made in China. Unbelievable. 1-800-272-1957. Time for sports now, and here with that is Sid Rosenberg. Good morning, Sid.
Hi, good morning, man. The Knicks were winners last night. They beat the Bucks by 14. Big night for Latrell Sprewell. He had 28. But that pales in comparison to the big story here on the Imus in the Morning Show today, which is that me and Warner Wolf are no longer friends.
Right.
The friendship is over. That's it.
No.
Never existed.
Well, that's not true. You
In
see,
his mind.
No, that's not true. I think Warner and I were starting to develop a very, very...
Not at all.
No, that's not true.
You took a day of work away from the guy.
Yeah, but you know what? I think when it initially happened, I think he was understanding it. I even think he was rooting for me, to be quite frank with you.
What?
I think he was happy for me. I remember the day it happened, and he said, "You know what? Congratulations, and I love you, and you're going to do a great job." Well, it didn't really go like that, to be honest with you. But I really think that.
Is that what he said to you?
No.
What did he say?
He didn't say a word to me.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
But I really thought that we were starting to become pretty good friends, and as it turns out now, after yesterday, I don't know. I don't know if we could even coexist at this point.
What happened yesterday?
Well, the whole fight went down in here because he thinks I'm trying to. I guess he thinks I'm trying to steal his airtime.
Right.
Well, I don't care about. See, the thing is, I don't care about the
You
airtime.
steal his airtime.
I don't steal his
did
airtime.
on Thursday.
You were horning in.
I don't think that's
He
true.
was trying to contribute an entertainment element to the Imus in the Morning program, and he was
at the
deprived of
expense.
doing so by Warner. We're going to hear Warner what? If you had Marist College and 85 points, you lost? I don't think so. We're looking for Sid to come in with... Sid had a whole Jewel Sting rap.
Yeah.
He's going to jump on the I-Man. and Warner got all bent out of shape.
It just happened to coincide that he came in at Warner's time.
Because that's a good time to get to the I-Man. Before that, he was talking to some very, very important political guy. Very important guy.
There you go. So Warner's a schmuck who can.
I'm not saying Warner's a schmuck.
Basically,
I'm not
that's
saying
what you just said.
No, what I'm saying, Bernie, is
No
that
respect.
the sports segment lends to messing around a little bit. When Imus is talking to somebody about 10 or 15 Americans getting shot down in Afghanistan, I'm not going to come on and talk about that skank Jewel.
And by the way, I wasn't talking to Warner when Sid stuck his head in. It was during a break.
Yeah. So how about that?
But Warner was scheduled to come on out of the break for the last segment of the program.
But it's nonsense.
All morning
It's
stewing that he can't get on.
But Bernie, for
I think
nonsense.
It was unfortunate I think it was unfortunate that Warner felt it compelled to swear at Sid.
Yeah.
And for Sid to slink out of the studio with his tail between his legs, like the wuss that he is. So, wimp. Unbelievable from both of them.
In the morning.
All right, let me talk to you about CSFB Direct. All right.
Can't report a quiet day in Israel, I think, on any good day. We had a suicide bomber try to stage an attack in Jerusalem this morning, carrying a lot of explosives, but not using his brains. Apparently, according to the Israeli security forces here, it was a premature detonation. He blew himself up crossing a street. Several people were injured from flying glass, but he clearly didn't get to whatever destination he was headed for.
The Israelis still attacking Palestinian locations? Is that still going on? Or?
No, not this morning, Donna. The last attack we had was yesterday, as we were talking, when they hit Arafat's headquarters, although they claimed they were going after a police station.
NBC.
An expletive-laden tape.
Yes. What are we doing with it now? Beeping it?
Correct.
How long will that take?
Hopefully not too much longer, a couple more minutes.
So we're hoping we can get that in a few minutes here.
The conversation that was going on as you and I were discussing another matter, and we missed.
Neither Charles nor I heard any of it.
Idiots.
Who's an idiot?
Warner and Sid. Who else?
Tomorrow, Tony Hendra, the brilliant author, incidentally, will be on. And he is part of this new coffee table book of pictures of fire. What is it?
It's firemen, firefighters, firehouses post 9/11.
Yeah.
It's called Brotherhood.
Really a remarkable book.
Very moving.
And Tony was called in by the publisher to write some captions and stuff, right?
Well, to write a forward or something, and he in turn enlisted Frank McCourt, who did so, but Tony helped with the book in other ways.
Right. So we like Tony, and Tony is, of course, best remembered for his contributions to
pop culture, actually.
Yes, National Lampoon and all that, and he, of course, played the band manager in Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
And Joe Beaver is going to be on tomorrow. He was the all-around cowboy for Pro Rodeo last year. He's in 11th place this year.
Oops.
So.
Sounds like the name of a porno star.
Joe Beaver?
Yeah.
He's primarily a calf roper. And team ropes, he's a header. But he's not getting it done this year. And he was supposed to give Wyatt his buckle he was going to win at the big finals in Vegas, but he ain't going to win nothing in Vegas.
Falling off the pace a little bit.
Be loser hour when he comes on.
So he's essentially fallen off his horse, Joe Beaver. And then Phil Simms will be on with his idiotic football stuff. So. Want to remind you of the big 20% off sale. Well, it's a lot at the Auto Body Express, and it's all neat stuff, no cheap, crummy stuff. Essentially, you think of the Auto Body Express, you think of neat, stone-washed stuff, jackets, shirts, T-shirts, great hats and stuff. And gift packs of Fred Imus Southwest Salsa, which is thick and chunky, ain't funky, won't slip off your chip. It is the best salsa on the planet, all natural ingredients. No cancer-causing ingredients to artificially keep it hot, any of that stuff. So the gift packs are, you can get coffee gift packs, Imus Brothers Coffee, Southwest Salsa with chips and stuff, all 20% off. And when you buy anything from the Auto Body Express at 20% off, like one of those great new drifter jackets or something, you get a free bag of Imus Brothers Coffee.
Yep.
Or a free Imus Brothers Coffee mug, made in China, collector's item. So, You can order on the internet at AutoBiteExpress.com, or you can call right now, and I would suggest doing that. They're doing pretty good business at the Auto Bite Express because people recognize that, one, it's great stuff, all made in the USA, and it's shipped FedEx and packed by Maria and Scott and those folks, all been working for us for years. Scott's one of Fred's sons, by the way. So you can call now at 1-800-272-1957. Be patient because you can't get through, but I suspect you might be able to this morning. But use any credit card you have and get 20% off and get free coffee. I mean, I don't see how you can beat that. 1-800-272-1957, 19 after the hour.
There are pockets of resistance, and there are also people floating in the general population who are armed and dangerous. And the reason I make the point is it seems to me that it is not a very tidy situation. It's not an orderly situation, and there are risks that will exist for Americans on the ground in Afghanistan.
Imus in the morning.
Like Shakespeare, we ask the question, what's in a name? Ours is
on all the time.
Yeah.
So anything you say in the studio is recorded. And so we have Warner apparently going off on Sid here. And
it's getting ugly.
It's getting very ugly.
Now this is getting ugly.
And so we just want to hear just how big a coward Sid is. So here's, did we beat this thing?
Yes, we have.
All right, let's listen to it.
You don't like Jewel very much, do you? You don't like Jewel, do you, Warner?
Do me a favor. Don't stick your head in that door when I'm getting ready to go. Is that fair enough?
Don't say it out loud.
I'm saying it in front of you.
Don't say it out loud.
Oh. This isn't the first time.
What, did I stuck my head in?
You're damn right. Right before I'm going on.
All right, okay.
I wouldn't know who that is.
But I didn't realize it.
Bullshit. That's horseshit. Who is that?
I didn't realize it. Bullshit. All right.
You know damn old line, man. That's bullshit. This isn't the first time.
Okay. That's fair. Fancy Ovaltine. I think it's wrong, to be honest. What?
Come on, man. You stick your head in the door the first time. That's bullshit, Sid. I know. You know, you're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do your shit.
Those look like radio.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Now, who?
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Where are you going? Oh, I changed my mind. Jules not so bad.
So I'm talking to Charles about Ty Murray.
Yeah.
Hey, where are you going?
The rodeo guy. And
these guys, oblivious.
And Sid and Warner are going at it.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
And you fought, and then you leave the studio. I couldn't understand what was going on.
Well, Warner asked me to leave, so I respect Warner. I have the ultimate respect for Warner. I've been a fan of his for years, and
well, here's the bottom line. I cut Warner some slack yesterday. I'm going to be serious for a second. I cut Warner some slack yesterday. It's the Imus morning program. If I call somebody in the studio, I want them in the studio. Warner doesn't like you, doesn't have to work on the program. That's the bottom line. So the next time that happens, I'm going to fire him. So that's what will happen. So that is the bottom line.
That's the bottom line, sir.
That is the bottom line. So I mean, I didn't embarrass Warner yesterday, but he's way out of line. It's not Warner. It's not up to Warner to decide who's going to be in the studio. I'll decide who's going to be in the studio. Warner doesn't like it, doesn't have to work here. I won't put up with it. So I let him get by with it yesterday, just out of respect for him. But just as I get to thinking about it, that's the bottom line. If he doesn't like it, doesn't have to work here. I don't need that. There's not a lot of people listening to this program because Warner Wolf's on it. Trust me. So, I mean, that is BS. And he deprived the program of what would have been an entertaining segment, as opposed to if you had 46 points and you lost or whatever. So I don't need that.
Are you happy, Sid?
Well, listen, I don't want it to be berated. I didn't even know they had these audio tapes. I was actually surprised to hear they had it just now myself.
Case. So.
I told you he was mad, though, right?
Oh, well,
Pretty mad.
He has no sense of humor. I mean, the idea is to have entertaining, funny stuff on the program, not for some old baby to be whining about not going to get to give a Knicks score. I mean, it's stupid. Believe me, I won't put up with it.
Imus in the morning.
Good morning. I'm here to see Mr. Brubaker.
This was to get us off the trail on the when the whole Monica Lewinsky thing was coming down.
Right. 3 days after he went on TV and it made all those admissions, and everybody was talking about it, and this instantly changed our attention.
Right. So diverted it.
This guy is a war criminal.
The Mansour Ijaz? Bill Clinton.
The former president.
Oh, okay. Well, he's a fat pig.
And also irrelevant.
He's a bigger joke than Geraldo Rivera,
He should
incidentally.
put him in a military tribunal right now.
It's, well, he's a citizen. They're not designed for that.
Strip him of it.
Strip him of his citizenship.
Not a bad idea. He's already been stripped of his law degree, or his ability to practice anyway.
And any integrity. Well, he self-stripped himself of his integrity, didn't he?
Coming up at 9 minutes after the hour, we're going to talk with, Mr. Ijaz in just a moment here, and then all of the regular folks. But it's time for the national news and all that sort of thing, sponsored by the Hackensack University Medical Center, one of the, frankly, leading hospitals in the country, the 7th largest hospital in the nation. You don't think of it as that, but perhaps you should. So, under the able direction of our friend John Ferguson, who is continues to do a brilliant job over there. So it's just inexplicable knowing John. He's just, frankly, not that bright a guy, but I'm sure you'll agree. Somehow he's stumbling around over there getting it done. Here's Chuck. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, guy, man. Taliban Supreme Leader Mullah Mohammed Ammar may be giving up.
But Delbert didn't ruin it. And Delbert is... So I felt like I discovered Delbert. Of course, Delbert had been around some time prior to that, but so I've been stalking Delbert. I'm like the worst kind of what's the fan from the movie? Oh man, that groupie. Nah, what was the movie? But Jerry Lewis or whatever it was.
Rupert Pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm kind of Delbert's Rupert Pumpkin. So, but at any rate, please welcome to the Irish Morning program the great Delbert McClellan.
Yeah. Thank you.
Program, quarter after the hour, the Irish Morning Business Report, sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange. More Delbert coming up today at the exchange. Some clown by the name of Michael Graddon will ring the opening bell. He's not a clown, but Pan-Canadian listed on the New York Stock Exchange on October 3rd under the ticker symbol PCX. Rear Admiral John Morgan will ring the closing bell to welcome back the USS Enterprise from overseas duty. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up over 10,000. It lost 15 points yesterday to close at 10,099. NASDAQ Composite Index rose 7 points to 2,054. There's a story this morning that AOL Time Warner CEO Gerald Levin, it was announced the other day that he's stepping down in May, and a lot of folks are wondering how much influence Ted Turner had in all of this. Turner's the largest shareholder in AOL Time Warner with about 4% of the stock, but he has been somehow he's been stripped of most of his, or any of his power within the company, I guess, and he's apparently torqued off about that, so he's not playing with a full set of utensils, he's just... he's in the tank half the time, or what the situation is, but it's not well. But there's some speculation that he may have had something to do with that, but I can't imagine that he did, and I can't imagine why we're even talking about it. It's pointless. The Labor Department releases its November jobs report this morning at around 8:30 Eastern Time. Futures, we don't know what they are this morning, do we? Are they up? Or
I don't know what they were doing.
Okay, we don't have any idea, so we essentially don't care either.
No.
At any rate, the business report sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange. It is 17 after the hour. More Delbert McClinton, and then the mayor of New York City, Rudolph Giuliani, coming up.
Hello, everybody. Hi, all tonight. This is Alan Freed, the old king of the Moondoggers, and it's time again for another of your favorite rock and roll sessions as you enjoy Imus in the Morning.
We define ourselves as the emerging new 705, exclusively on your flagship station for New York sports, The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Now at Blockbuster by 2 conduct a quiz show in Atlantic City, or
he sings, he kibitzes, he
does?
snappy patter.
Have you ever seen what he does?
No.
You don't know, so you don't know what he does.
No, but apparently that's what he does.
Instead of casino, some people don't have to pay, right? They just herd them in there after they've lost all their money, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, they pay.
They have to pay.
Well, they have to pay.
They have to pay to see him.
They have to pay to see Regis Philbin.
I can't believe that. I can't imagine. I mean, he's a nice guy and all that, I guess, but can you imagine somebody actually paying to go see him?
No.
Would you? Does anybody here would pay to see Regis Philbin? Nobody, of course not. Please welcome now to the Irish Morning program. I would pay to see this guy, wouldn't you?
Oh, just give a lecture, absolutely.
Yeah, just to talk to you about whatever.
Sure.
Maybe how to put together a sentence which you and I could...
We could stand that
send
advice.
some help with.
Right.
Please welcome from CBS News, Andy Rooney. Good morning, Mr. Rooney.
Yeah.
Good morning, Don.
Well, Bernard, who's the producer of the program, did not show up for work this morning, called in sick. And then Kara, who's the executive assistant to the Irish Morning program, decides that, without telling me, of course, that she's going to go out and get supplies. Well, she's not getting supplies. She's late, so can you get it on the one morning? I mean, you can't make this stuff up, but I just don't want to introduce all of this ugliness.
Right.
At this particular point of the program, when we have yet another hour, when I can bitch and moan about this and a number of other issues.
And it's been a very happy morning.
It has been. So we're at the Eugene O'Neill Theater with... an audience full of people who probably use America Online instant messaging service and clearly have no visible source of support or income. But at any rate, please welcome now the full Monty is playing at this theater, and three of the cast members have been gracious enough to come down here this morning, and on a serious note, we appreciate that. Danny Gerwin, Daniel Stewart Sherman, and Matthew Stokey from the Full Monty. Thank you, all three, on a serious note, very much for coming down. And they're going to do, from the show, a thing called Big Ass Rock.
Yeah.
So here they are. Please give them a hand.
All right.
Danny Gerwin, Daniel Stewart Sherman, and Matthew Stokey. That is terrific, particularly at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you all three very much. Three of the guys from the Full Monty that's here at the Eugene O'Neill Theater. We're going to give away tickets to this show. It's very amusing.
Really? Oh, good.
5 minutes now till the hour here on the Irish Morning program. In the next hour, we're going to talk to Kate Burton from Hedda Gabler, which is a Adolf Hitler play. No.
It's a Henry Gibson play.
Henry Gibson play, yeah. And then we'll talk some other stuff, and we'll fire members of the Imus in the Morning staff.
All right.
So, hey. Well, that'll be fun. Well, in fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let Sid's parents, please don't holler at me from the audience, because we will come out and beat you. We're going to allow some member of the audience to fire members of my staff this morning. Won't that be fun? Okay.
Fun. Fun final hour, man.
And we'll tell them their final day. They're both Christians, so their final day, we'll tell them, will be December 24th. So, won't that be fun? Okay, we'll do that coming up.
Imus in the morning.
All right, imagine if you're taking a friendly ride just 60 miles north of New York City. Well, one would hope he's okay.
Well, sure, of course we do.
Maybe we should check on his health.
We would wish him a swift recovery, in fact. Wouldn't we?
No?
Before we kill him.
Well, no, I mean, how sick could he be?
I don't know. I do not know Bernard's circumstances.
Getting implants.
Here's Chuck with the news. It's going to really be an ugly hour. I'm glad you all are here as witnesses. This next hour is going to be, well...
It's going to get bloody.
Those guys were good from the Monty deal, weren't they?
They were great.
And you got a great T-shirt.
Oh, all right.
Every time I don't go that often, but every time I go see a Broadway show of any kind, I'm always shocked at how talented these people are. Like Sid went to see Urinetown, and Sid, not the most sophisticated person on the planet, as you might know.
Of course not. No.
But, and Sid wouldn't have gone unless he had gotten the tickets free.
That's absolutely true, yeah.
But Sid loved it, didn't you?
One of the best shows I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of shows. Because, see my parents right out there, right, man?
Yeah.
Sunday mornings, we'd stand out at the old ticket center there in Duffy Square and get some, obviously half-price tickets, but we were there anyway.
I'll be darned.
So I've seen a lot of shows. I knew it was Henrik Ibsen, not Henry Gibson, who wrote Hedda Gabler in The Dollhouse.
Right.
See? So I'm not as moronic as you think I am. I'm probably close, but...
Oh, no, you are.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway...
How about Sid's dad for sports on Tuesday and Thursday?
And weren't you surprised that how talented these people in Urinetown were?
I was very surprised. I'm always surprised.
Well, it's just three guys from the Bonneville. I mean, it was remarkably talented people.
I was just happy the fat kid in the end didn't take his clothes off. Because I think in this play, these guys actually get naked.
Yeah.
So I wasn't looking forward to that. I actually went to the bathroom about 10 minutes before the number, just in case.
So,
but the fat kid left his clothes on, so it was a good number.
So Sid, not a sportscaster in the tradition of, say, Marv Albert. 3 minutes after the hour.
Darren Blockbuster, buy 2 previously viewed DVDs and get a third one. Sims has stores located throughout Manhattan, Long Island, Westchester, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
It is 5 minutes past the hour, and I am Imus-Dec, and we are at the Eugene O'Neill Theater on Broadway, on 49th Street. And it's 9 o'clock Eastern time in the morning, and there are a number of people in the audience who clearly have no visible means of income and nothing to do, and so they're here. I mean, it's very nice of you all to come down. So the National Restaurant Association presents Imus-Dec live on Broadway from, as I said, the Eugene O'Neill Theater. Today's show also sponsored by Friendly Motors up in Mercedes-Benz dealership up in Wappinger Falls. NYC and Company paint the town red, white, and blue by the Riga Royal Hotel, by JetBlue Airways, and by Village Care of New York, where Sid's parents are going to be. That's where you guys are going, so you're not going to Florida. Let's get over that. Yeah. I want to thank the president and the CEO of the National Restaurant Association. They have a pretty good idea, and I want to semi-serious note, and that is to get not only folks to come on to, come back to Broadway, and as I said, even our affiliate in Albuquerque, New Mexico, that group of stations there conducting contests, people who can win trips to New York, and you can come over to the apartment, and Deirdre and I'll take you over, right near the Museum of Natural History. We'll take you over there and look at the butterfly thing. Wyatt likes that. Yeah. And Paul Simon lives right next door to us. We'll go over to his house. He'll sing a couple tunes for you. So it'll be fun. It's beautiful. No, that is not going to happen. What? But anyway, I want to thank. But it's a great idea to go to. Think of the times in your life as you've gone to restaurants and how much fun it's been. I mean, and maybe you were drunk or whatever. The food was awful, but I mean, there's still been times where it's been a pleasant experience, and other times when. Like when Sid takes his mom and dad to Denny's at 5 in the afternoon for that
a Grand Slam deal.
Exactly, whatever it is. Sure. Yeah, also, we're going to give away tickets to see Contact, to see Hedda Gabler, which Kate Burton is in, and we're going to talk with Miss Burton, who's been gracious enough to come down and endure this, and I'm sure she's probably semi-mortified, wondering how she got into this. But these people are troopers. And they'll do anything to try to get you to, including appearing on this idiotic program. We'll have tickets for Les Mis, for Proof, for Phantom of the Opera, Thoroughly Modern Millie, The Allergist's Wife, and some other stuff. We want to take just a second to thank the folks from the, how do you pronounce this, Mark? I see you've written Jew here, but what does that mean?
Jew Jamson. Jew Jamson.
Okay.
Jew.
Okay. Well, let's not get into that. No. We were talking, somebody from the Jerusalem Post, Tom Rose, right?
Yes.
As in?
The publisher.
Yeah. He's trying to get us to come to Jerusalem to broadcast the program the second week of January. And so, they were negotiating yesterday the cost of my plane to go over there, right?
Uh-huh.
And
you really want to say what you're going to say?
No.
Okay.
I could paraphrase it. I said I would be happy to try to Christian them down.
Oh, you are unbelievable.
You're an idiot.
You really are.
You're just a moron.
That was about the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say.
So it was amusing at the time. As my friend Katie Friedman says. Mm-hmm. We also want to thank the General Counsel for these people, who is, his name is Daniel...
Damien.
Mm-hmm. The theater manager, George Elmer. I believe I met George. He's a very nice gentleman. Mm-hmm. Goes through people's stuff when they're on stage. Jim Lochner and Jennifer Hershney, whatever they do, from Mike O'Neill at O'Neill's Restaurants. What have they done? They provided the
all
food.
that delicious food, which I actually saw you eat some of.
And then our engineers, who have done a fairly good job, a very good job, as a matter of fact. Mike Erickson, Carl Infantino, my friend Joe Ellis, and Jim Pierce. So they've all. And then later on here in this hour, a member of the audience will get a chance to fire members of the staff.
Beautiful.
That will be primarily Bernard, who will be. Anyway, before we talk to Miss Burton, we're going to talk with what? Charles has a little news. Whether Omar Mullah, has he thrown in Natalia yet? Or?
No, he has not.
Which I find to be an enormously amusing line, and no one else does.
No. after several thrusts and nothing. The latest quickly on the war on terrorism. U.S. Marines have killed 7 enemy forces in Afghanistan. They say the attack became necessary after a vehicle containing Taliban and al-Qaeda forces sped toward U.S. Marines patrolling near Kandahar. An opposition commander has told the Afghan Islamic press that Taliban forces have peacefully surrendered their weapons in Kandahar, but Mullah Omar has disappeared from the city. No one has any idea where he is, apparently. Attorney General Ashcroft has told a Senate panel that great care and assiduous attention is being taken to protect rights as administration officials work to protect Americans against terrorists. And hundreds of invited guests have gathered this morning at the USS Arizona Memorial in Hawaii, marking this, the 60th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. President Bush marking that occasion with a...
Brilliant, but...
absolutely.
It just is really strange. And as is Andy Rooney. So it's just...
Another brilliant man, but with many, a multifaceted individual.
Yeah. In fact, if they were not doing what they were doing, they'd be locked up.
There's no question.
Wouldn't they?
No, there's no question. They'd be locked up. They'd have maybe adjoining cells.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk with Kate Burton next here on the Amherst Morning Program. It's 13 after the hour.
The evil ones have roused a mighty nation, a mighty land. And for however long it takes, I am determined that we will prevail, and prevail we must. Because we fight for one thing, and that is the freedom of our people and the freedom of people everywhere.
Imus in the morning.
We're talking with Kate Burton here on the Imus in the morning. So this is a huge. I mean, it's your birthday.
It was my birthday. Incredible time to be here.
And the reviews, I guess, obviously were good, huh?
Yeah, really great. I mean, we've really...
No, we got hammered, Don. That's why we're still...
Yeah, that's why we're still going. No, the New York Times, particularly, which, as Rob knows,
they hammered Rob. I don't know why I told you that or not.
Except for not for tabletop.
I don't think you've mentioned it enough times how they've hammered.
Oh, but you got killed.
3 years ago.
You got killed.
You know what? It does
I'd like
get
to
easier.
kill you.
I'm sure you would, but I'm just saying. You got to stop dealing with life.
Yeah.
You got murdered.
We've all gotten murdered by the New York Times. Oh, please.
Thank you.
Please.
We're talking with Kate Burton from Stein and Hedda Gabler, and who got great reviews. It's the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by buyandhold.com, which is a prudent way to invest, kind of reflecting the philosophy of Warren Buffett. Buy the stuff and hang on to it, as though you had any idea. And I just spoke, it wasn't off the record, I just spoke with Mel Karmazin, who runs Viacom, and Viacom was up over 47 yesterday, and he said it's going to 100.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, all right, baby. So,
there you
that's
go.
what you got to do, buy it and hang on to it. And I noticed a lot of stuff's going, geez, looks good. Yeah. I think I might, after seeing that unfortunate photograph of Bob Pittman, Joe Levin, and Parsons on the front page of the New York Times yesterday, I believe I would get out of AOL Time Warner, but that's your decision. Again, we're talking with Kate Burton from Hedda Gabler, who is the daughter of Richard Burton.
Correct.
Do you ever get asked about that?
Just a few times in my life. Elizabeth Taylor does have violet eyes. Yeah, I could give you just all the answers before you even ask them.
How old were you when that was going on, the Eddie Fisher?
Oh, my God. I was, like, really little. And to be honest, I was completely, thank God, protected from it by my mom and my uncles and aunts and 100 Welsh people, because I am a Welsh person. My father was Welsh. My mother is Welsh. pure Welsh. And so I was really protected. And my mother did a very smart thing. She left the country. I mean, we moved to the United States when I was 4, which is why I've been in New York. She loved New York. She always knew this was the place for her. And so I moved here, and so I was able to have actually an incredibly solid, happy childhood, growing up in New York City in the 60s and 70s, heavenly time to be here. And then had these like wild, wacky summer vacations with my dad on various movie sets. And somehow, and I really attribute this to my mom, I was able to just take it all in and enjoy it and know that it was kind of fun and hysterical. And I met incredible people, my whole life. And I was able to appreciate it and know that it was special and not like take myself, too seriously.
When did you decide that you wanted to be an actor?
When I was in college. I actually had not planned to be an actor because I was sort of vaguely appalled at the whole acting thing. I was like, who are these people who come into my house with their flashy clothes? And, I was a kid who was like, Miss Blue Jeans and T-shirts, and I was good in school. And my dad had this whole thing about education, so did my mom. My mom came from a family of teachers, and I was determined to finish college because nobody in my family had finished, my father and my mother. And so I went to college, and then my senior year, my advisor said, you know what, I hate to tell you, but you're like a gifted actress. I'm like, God damn it. How could that happen? What happened? So I sort of thought about it for a while, and I said, well, it was very practical. I've always been like really kind of, I don't know, very level-headed, I guess. And I said, well, I'm going to go to drama school because I knew that being Dad's daughter, I didn't want to ride on this, Richard Burton's daughter. And I knew that is what everybody would talk about. So I went to Yale Drama School and then came out, and I've been so lucky. It worked all the time.
How'd you meet your husband?
He was my first stage manager at the Circle in the Square with George C. Scott. I did Present Laughter.
God, he was a great one.
Oh, the best. Hey, honey. We rehearsed for 2 hours a day. Nathan Lane was in the show and was one of my first friends. I met Nathan Lane, my husband, and George C. Scott all on the same day. And Nathan...
Could have married Nathan.
Well, I could have, but I think that might not have worked out. But he is one of my very close friends, and he was an usher at my wedding.
Of course, he would have had to ask you, but... whatever.
Well, Nathan and I have appeared in many shows together, and I love him very much. And, he... Actually, the first day of rehearsal, Nathan and I were sitting together, and we just met, and I looked at the man who would...
As a country, we like to travel. We're a people with happy...
All right, 20 minutes now till the hour. Here on the Imus Morning program, we are on Broadway at the Eugene O'Neill Theater on 49th Street. We have tickets we're going to give away to a number of Broadway shows, including the one that Kate Burton is in, which, when we talk about it, it always sounds like that'd be fun to see, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a great play.
Hedda Gabler with Kate Burton, also Contact, Les Mis, Proof, Phantom of the Opera, Thoroughly Modern Millie, The Allergist's Wife, and we have, the grand prize will be 2 tickets to see the full Monty, which is at this theater, a backstage tour after the show, a 2-hour limousine ride around Manhattan, a limousine courtesy of Greenwich Limousines of New York, serving the tri-state area, dinner for 2 at Lundy's Brothers Restaurant in Times Square, located on 50th Street. It has beautiful views overlooking Broadway, old-style chandeliers hanging a large space with classic ceiling fans. What the hell is this, an architectural report on this dump? All right, from Fox Sports now, a little late, but that's because of us. We got way behind here. The former Oakland Raider, now in the Football Hall of Fame. Howie Long. Good morning, Mr. Long.
Yeah. Good morning, guys.
How are you?
How are you doing?
Well, we're fine.
Yeah?
I'm getting tired of these. I'm wondering how you have anything to do in your life other than Radio Shack commercials. Man, I mean, I've never seen so many commercials. I mean, they're good, but...
Well, they shoot them in clumps. I mean, they do about 8 at a time. I'll do 4 more the end of the week here and early next week, and They shoot them in clumps. Radio Shacks, I get you a good deal on a camcorder.
You're pretty good in those, too, Howie. I mean, I'd like to hammer you, but...
I know you would.
Who's the woman in it with you?
Terry Hatcher.
She's good, too.
Yeah, she's real good.
Probably a lot of people think it's your wife, right? It's not.
Quite a few people think it's my wife, as a matter of fact. It's kind of a parody on the old James Garner campaign with Married Hardly.
Well, I remember those. Sure, the Polaroid deal, yeah.
Right. You caused quite an uproar last week on our show.
What'd I do?
Well, you had the two quarterbacks upset with one another.
Boomer Esiason and...
Right.
What's the other guy's name? Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw, yeah, that guy. You know, I thought, honestly, because Boomer's set is right next door to ours, and I thought for sure there was going to be a cat fight.
Well, Terry started it.
No, from what I hear, I didn't hear it, but from what I heard, you had played some type of previous appearance by Boomer where he had some disparaging remarks regarding...
No.
No?
No. What happened was I was talking to Terry one day.
Right.
And I said, that reminds me of something Boomer Esiason once said.
Oh.
And that was, Boomer said, if we'd have had 5 more minutes, we'd have won the game.
Right.
In which point Terry said, yeah, those guys always have an excuse. This guy's going around with a chip on his shoulder. That's the way he described Boomer. He said they won any Super Bowls. And he said, yeah, we didn't win any Super Bowls. He said, and then Terry said, well, you'd have won some if you'd have played better. So it was an ad hominem attack on poor old Boomer Esiason, who in fact didn't win any Super Bowls. And when he did play in, he played poorly. So
no, he didn't play bad. He didn't play bad in that one Super Bowl. But you can't have too many of them in one room.
And so then I played that for Boomer.
Right.
At which point Boomer said, to describe Terry essentially as a functional illiterate, and saying that had Boomer said if I'd been playing if he Boomer Esiason had been playing for the Steelers, they'd have won 10 Super Bowls.
Wow.
So then I played that for Terry.
Well, it was quite an uproar, and you know I was just praying that somebody was going to punch somebody at work. Praying, but you know, quarterbacks, they do a lot of that. Hold me back.
Well, then here's another bit of ugliness we saw that no one agrees with me about this. But when Jimmy Kimmel did something about you,
right,
and then they came back to you on the set,
right,
it looked to me like you were genuinely annoyed at Jimmy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you and I knew each other that well enough.
Well, I don't know you at all. I mean,
the subtleties of my facial expression.
Well, you seemed like you were pissed, is all.
No, I kind of find him as a necessary kind of annoyance within the show because, as you know, you're trying to capture I don't know what demographic that is. But they're trying to capture that demographic, and the weather girl thing has become kind of a reoccurring theme with Jimmy in regard to me because I don't go over there and fondle all over the weather girl.
Well, no, I think you all are fairly respectful with her, right?
They're not dominating people, but they play extremely well. It's been a magical season, and as you saw last week, Brett Favre is Brett Favre.
And we have Sid Rosenberg, who is our sportscaster here in New York, who has a clinical gambling problem. And,
I lack that gene. I don't. Maybe because I've been behind the curtain and I know how uncertain it is.
But the Rams are favored by 8, speaking of that game, over the 49ers. I don't see that at all. I mean, I know the game's in St. Louis, but still. Do you?
Well, I think the question is, on two counts, how healthy is St. I was up there yesterday, and they are extremely focused. Schulters, the DB for the 49ers, has called the entire receiving crew soft and praised that they run across the middle. And is looking to blow someone up. And he's a very angry young man. He certainly has the capabilities of doing that. But the question is Garcia healthy? Garcia didn't look real mobile last week. They beat Buffalo handily, but it should be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a shootout. And the big questions are, is Garcia healthy, and how healthy is that St. Louis defense? I think St. Louis's offense is you can't really stop it. They stop themselves.
And then the Giants go to Texas, play the Cowboys. The Giants are favored speaking of point spreads, by 4, I am predicting that the Cowboys will win that game.
That's, you know what? I think that might be a good prediction. Dallas is playing real good on defense, and they ran the ball real well last week. It should be interesting. The Giants, this is a team that, like New Orleans, they're a bit of an enigma. I don't understand why the Giants aren't better. There's a lot of chaos within their offense. They don't seem to want to be on the same page, and it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Did you and Boomer have any words?
Over what?
Him describing you as a meathead on this program.
Oh, well. I told you, quarterbacks, it's kind of like the shark and the dolphin. We're not on the same page. Boomer's a quarterback, and, Boomer's he's retaining a little water, as we mentioned before.
Well, that probably didn't come up when he was face-to-face with you.
No, Boomer was fine. As a matter of fact, he said he loved Terry, and Terry said he loved him. But, that's inevitably what happens. Quarterbacks talk about one another, and then when it comes to the same, zip code in the same room, nobody's hitting. I'm praying somebody hit somebody.
Well, no, the only thing I was thinking is I was just wondering if he was going to say to you what he had said to us, that the only guy dumber than Terry was Howie.
No, that
didn't come up. Good.
That never came up. Boomer's always been a perfect gentleman around me, which shows much more intelligence than you give him credit for.
Howie, you're a good sport. Thanks very much.
All right, guys.
Howie Long here on the I'm Your Morning program. It's 9 minutes after the hour. That's one time Boomer Esiason said, after a football game that he had lost, he said, well, if we'd have had 5 more minutes, we'd have won.
Well, somebody tried to explain. Said that a lot to you then, didn't he?
We tried to explain
these guys like Boomer to realize what a chip on their shoulder they have, Yeah, well, we didn't win any Super Bowls. Well, you sure didn't. You got to play better than what you played.
I'll be playing this.
This is Thanksgiving. This is not a time to be...
the love? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's time to attack Boomer Esiason.
Absolutely. No. I like Boomer. I like him a lot.
In the morning.
All right. Let me talk to you now about, I don't know. Not sure. Yeah. Well, Howie just bought every bit of that, didn't he?
God almighty.
Man, I mean, just bought
holy cow. Just like spoon-feeding them.
God, that was just so easy. It wasn't even a challenge.
Pretty funny, man. He's probably calling Boomer right now.
I don't have the copy. Oh, here we go. All right, let me talk to you about an article just published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Announced a breakthrough new therapy for patients with end-stage heart failure. This landmark clinical trial demonstrated that terminally ill heart patients have a much higher likelihood of survival with a small heart implant called an LVAD. Upon
239-6200 for the summer of 42.
Well, it's usually a case we're way behind here, of course. But Larry and Rob are going to, for you all here in the audience, Larry and Rob are going to give away these tickets, these various Broadway shows. Thank you all very much for coming. And
see you.
See you later.
Imus in the morning.
Use an ordinary print. Whirls.
Exclusions apply. See store for details. Sale ends December 8th.
Now at Blockbuster by 2 fourths.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN. Mike and the Mad Dog.
Hi, Mike and the Mad Dog along the way here on the Fan. Mike, you think the Eagles will lose one of these next 3 games to give the Giants a chance?
I'm Joe Tollison, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Listen to our NFL Sunday doubleheader as the Giants meet the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow at 1 p.m. and Seattle takes on Denver at 8:30. And between games, catch Ed Coleman with the NFL in action. All here on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
From Hallmark Hall of Fame,
Some say beautiful creatures from the sea are
WFAN 2020 Sports.
just in time for the holidays. New official WFAN merchandise for winter. Flannel pajama pants and boxers, long sleeve tees, button-down shirts, and sports bags make great gifts. Log on to WFAN.com and take care of that special fan on your holiday list. Order anytime, day or night. It's official fan merchandise from the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Oh, there's no place.